Uh-oh.
Never mind. We live.
Hello. What's up, everybody? It's Saturday, so it's time to get in on some Loki. And the one we're going in is the one who has more right calls than the last referee I saw. What's good, fandom D Saint?
Look at me, DJ. Do you still think they're clones? Do you still think they are clones?
Oh, the man tried to tell me last week. I was like, no, they're clones. He's like, I think they're variants. I'm like, no, they're clones. He's like, I think they're variants. Oh, man, I just couldn't listen. I couldn't see it, but the man was right. I don't know, though. I do believe we still have some clone situations happening in the TVA, and time will tell. What's good, everybody? I see you out there, Peter Griffin. We got Jake Cruz in the house. Oh, we got AK Watch in the house. What's up? My sister from another mister's here. Oh, man, what are you thinking about the Loki? I'm thinking it's absolutely excellent so far and loving it, man. What do you think about this last episode?
I wish it was longer. I literally looked at the runtime at the end of the episode and it said 36 minutes. I'm like, why? I'm pretty sure. I think it's like longer than like a WandaVision episode, but still, like I wanted more. And I literally look at the runtime to the first two episodes, and I'm like, why is those two episodes longer than this one? Granted, first episode a little bit longer, just to introduce us to the setting, everything we need to know. Second episode still longer than this episode. Come on now, come on, give me more, damn it. And they had the nerve to say 42 minutes. That was not no 42 minutes of runtime.
Oh, man, yeah, I know it did show. It ran a little bit short, but it made it a little easier to write the outline on it. Jake Cruz just finished watching it. Filler episode, I kind of agree, but absolutely, like you're saying, we did learn some things, and it answered some serious questions. Like, they're all variants. What? They don't know that?
It was almost a filler, almost.
Yeah.
Until the end with about the unvariant thing. I'm like, wait a second. So DJ was wrong, gotcha.
Hey, I own it. But like I said, I'm not giving up. I do believe we have some clone situations. Somebody or some of them may be clones, and yeah, I think they're going to get into it. Like I said, my man doesn't know what a fish is. Something don't smell right. My man don't know what a fish is. There's some clone situations happening. Do you think Loki snagged the time stone?
He snagged the time stone this whole time?
Not the whole time, but when he was messing around in that drawer, we saw him pick up a time stone. Like, you guys use them as paperweights, and then they move the camera away. We heard a little noise, but we never saw him put back that time stone.
If he was smart, take at least one of each and test it out the moment he leaves. But I don't know.
Could he handle it? I mean, remember Peter Quill? Like when he just touched a time stone, it almost seemed like he needed his whole crew to help him like hold it just because it was so powerful. So I mean, what would happen if Loki held all 5 of them? Would he be able to do that without a glove or a harness to actually help him hold the power of it?
I don't know though, because even then it's like when Doctor Strange like took out the what was it? The time? Yeah, it was a time stone. Like he wasn't touching. It was like he was like holding like I don't know. Maybe he was using his magic. But when Thanos even hold it, like it wasn't even with his bare hand. But he wasn't. I don't know if he was using magic or whatever. I don't know. It's just a bit weird. But who knows? But Loki has magic, so he could just use magic if anything.
Speaking of weird, my laptop is tripping all of a sudden.
You say that, but you're not glitching or anything.
I know. I haven't heard any glitches, but yeah, everything. I just shut down one of the windows, but yeah, that was kind of going weird, and it was taking time to like pull the thing off. Yeah, that was weird, but we're gonna keep it moving. Oh man, Peter Griffin says. So yeah, I put it on there, and it's not really. It takes a minute to click. That's a trip. Some think this world is just female Loki has him in a trance trying to extract some info. We're going to talk about it.
I was thinking about that. I'm like, is all this actually happening right now? Is someone manipulating another individual, especially when she took a nap? I was like, is this really happening?
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of flipped it the other way. I was thinking somebody else might be playing some games and all might not be what it seems. And we're definitely going to talk about it. But yeah, I think there might be some other stuff going on. I hope this thing doesn't crash. No, I don't know if it's the timekeeper. Well, it could be the timekeeper. Yep. We're definitely going to get into that. Yeah, I don't know why my laptop's tripping, but that's crazy. But we start, this is episode 3 called Lamentus, and we start this week in a very Loki style with even the opening credits being flipped upside down, switching the theme music and turning the title green. And the music rolls right into Sylvie being logged into the past memory of Hunter C20. And I like how like vague all the answers about time are in this show. Like, how long have we been best friends? And she just answers, too long. Like, I love just, there's no like solid answers or like nothing's in concrete when it comes to time in this show.
The opening song to this episode remind me of King Kong versus Godzilla, where that guy was talking about you don't drink tap water, and instantly you're talking about something's in the water. I'm like, oh, that, what's up here? But in that
Jesus.
scene, I was like, what the hell is going on? Is this like an actual flashback? Like, did Sylvie like work in the TVA or something, or how did she like know the other agent? But then it just turned out that that was just her showing like her ability of how she's like, you know, enchanting individuals.
Absolutely. And it was just because her mind, B20's mind, was so strong, Sylvie had to like keep taking it deeper and deeper down levels, trying to crack that code. But that was a pretty cool cold open. And we were all pretty sure that getting into her mind was how Sylvie got to and got the info from B20. But it was dope being able to actually see it all play out. I really like that. I just happened to pause on a cool scene, like right when it opened up, and it showed Sylvie walking through the portal into the TVA, and it showed like her leg and 2 hands and just her face, like as if they were different segments separated from her body by the portal. And like, what if there were 2 people grabbing you from each ends of one of those doorways? Like, could they physically separate your body? Like in the end credits, we're showing, and Jake Cruz made mention of that like last stream we were talking about it. Like it shows the different people. Like when you walk through a doorway, it shows all those different separations of you. So is that all you? Is that different variants of you? And like I said, if you had somebody pulling on you from each end, could they literally separate you, your body?
Now I have to really go look at those end credits now. I really have to. I'd be like skipping them just to see if like this is happening after credit scene. But I don't know. Maybe I gotta look at it though. But to answer that point, maybe because when Doctor Strange does those portal things and like I think it could like cut people in half wherever and somewhat, I think. Yeah, didn't it cut in half like that individual worked for Thanos? One of the I forgot what his minions were called. Like didn't he like lose an arm or something?
Oh yeah, on certain things, like I know that happened in a like in Thor Ragnarok when he came flying in through that portal, like that it shut down on that dragon's head, and the dragon came
No,
sliding
maybe that's
through
what I'm thinking.
everybody. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure that does happen. But yeah, I think that's going to be a thing by the end of this show, is those doors and the portals and the separations of people. Like I definitely think that's going to be a thing. Oh, what info would Loki have? So why would Sylvie put him in a trance? Sylvie, I keep forgetting her name.
Yeah, I kept on saying her name. The moment I heard, I'm like, I said I had to say it like 5 times or so. So I'm like, okay, try to remember this.
Clones variants, I was way off. I thought Mobius was one of the TVAs. Yeah, and I mean, you never know. By the end of this, something could be switched off. But yeah, it looks like we were both wrong on that one. And last week, you kept asking me like AI or person, and I think I answered that like person, but I was wrong too. It's not a clone yet. I still think there may be some clones of Mobius. I don't know if it's the fact that they just keep wiping his mind, or if they've cloned him and there's different versions of him out there making different circles on her desk, and maybe it's different clones of him out there being killed out in the field.
Too much Bad Batch, DJ. Too much Bad Batch.
Could be. Oh, what's up, Kristen Oles? I see you out there. Jake Cruz still saying it's filler, but I mean, it was a little close to being filler, but like I said, we got a few answers, so I'm not too mad at it. Oh, they're killing us with the times. Yeah, it is hard to keep up, man. You never know because anything can be anything when you're talking about time travel.
Wait, they changed the credits every week? Now I definitely gotta see them now.
Oh, yeah, the pictures change. There's all sorts of different clues that they're putting in there, but we don't know. We haven't been able to put those together yet. Yeah, we can make a whole different video on just the like end credits. It's nuts. Oh, juicy filler for sure. Absolutely, absolutely. It's like some folks are saying that, but I don't think that he did. Pete Griffin says, I was just thinking when that building fell, he was able to reverse it a bit. And that is the biggest key to him perhaps having that time stone. because that is a power we have yet to see. We haven't seen him be able to like stop buildings and reverse them coming back up, and that had some total Doctor Strange vibes to it. What do you think about that?
Most definitely. Then I'm just like, or is he just using some TVA technology we haven't seen yet?
It could be maybe just some kind of a little reversal thing. He's always been telekinetic, but has he been able to stop buildings from falling and push them back up? Like grabbing a Roomba off a shelf is one thing, but be able to stop a building from falling and pushing it back up, that just seems like a reversal of time type situation to me. That's just the Power Stone, though. Other stones don't have that effect. The Time Stone could. If he reversed time, he could bring it back up. Absolutely. Your picture looks a bit off now. I'm hoping that was a while ago and it's cleared back up because things have seemed to be working a little better all of a sudden. I don't know what that glitch was.
I'd rather this glitch than the audio.
Yeah, right. The audio is nuts. It drives me nuts. Oh, this is Loki's show and he's manipulating her. See, that's what I'm saying, and that's the way I'm going to take it. I think it's Loki doing the manipulating, not her. Not her. Why is the TVA stuck in the 60s and 70s and kind of the 80s? But yeah, their machines are definitely straight out of the 70s because just an awesome era.
That reminded me of that anime Naruto, where I thought they were just like either like in feudal Japan or something with the ninjas, but the next thing you know, I saw like a TV. I'm like, wait a minute, what are TVs doing here? So I don't know. It's just weird.
Oh, they take a little bit out of each era for sure. They change credits every work. They're hinting something. They have to be if they're changing it, right? Remains to be seen. He might be deep undercover. Yeah, we don't know what's happening with Mobius. We got to feel it. We got to feel it. All right, have to check that out. And I think I finally caught up with Peter Griffith saying that would be funny if Sylvie, who stopped the building, and Loki thought he did it. That would be an awesome twist. That'd be amazing. That would be amazing. Or if this is all just Loki, that might be the one way he was able to do it. Maybe that was the biggest kick, is that this is all his trance, so he's got all the power in it, and he just made it look like that building's falling and put it back up because that didn't really happen. This is all just his illusion. I meant the Power Stone is the one that can hold on to the own other. Oh, I see what you're saying. It's only the Power Stone that you can't hold by yourself because it's so strong. Interesting like that. I was on the third Harry Potter movie before I realized it was modern times. Oh, Loki are god. The Lokis are gods. So why would some would even say puny gods. So they're still gods nonetheless. They're winning. Like I understand that they were winning with those agents, but how are those agents even able to put up any resistance at all? Like, shouldn't it be like a hot knife through butter cakewalk situation? Like, it should be like Loki standing in front of the Hulk, these agents standing in front of Loki, shouldn't it?
It really should be, honestly. Like I'm telling you, like I don't know where they get these agents from.
Yeah, I don't understand. They're just tossing them around, but the agents are kind of actually putting up a little bit of a fight. There shouldn't be any fight. These are gods. Again, frost giant gods, but gods nonetheless. Like, they should be able to punk these guys a lot easier than what's happening. That kind of trips me out. But Loki Prime follows her through the door, but stops once through and realizes that nobody's around to stop him from grabbing his daggers. And then he catches up with Sylvie, who wants nothing to do with him. Is this because he's a Loki and she knows like he's not trustworthy, or just the fact that she's a loner and has learned not to trust anyone but herself?
Can't trust no one, including her own self. Variant,
which would be a Loki. I like how she tells Loki, "You're in my way," and Loki retorts, "You are my way." I was like, I was loving the back and forth between these two.
yeah, the entire episode, the back and forth. You just gotta love it.
Oh, it was amazing. What I didn't like was how Sylvie threatened to kill Loki, and Ravonna replies, "Go for it." Like, the TVA is just a little too laid back on the value of life for my liking.
Or just simply just variants. Like he's like, oh, how many Lokis are there? We've seen die countless times. Just go ahead, kill him.
Yeah, but at what point can you just call anybody a variant and kill him? Oh, that's a variant, kill him. That's a variant, kill him. Okay, wait a minute. Like, who's to say that's an actual variant, and how far are we taking this?
They don't care. Again, like they're gods. Like they can pretty much do anything. So it's like, kill him, kill him. It's not part of the timekeeper's true goal. Their epilogue.
Oh, AK says they are the guards of the TVA. Of course, the TVA is going to juice them up, but can you juice somebody up to the power of a god? That just seems a little, I don't know. I mean, I get they're going to be a little over extra, but man, I don't know. Her power didn't work on their home turf. Her magic didn't, but her strength would always. I mean, her strength would always be there. Gods is a relative term. Technically, they'd be considered aliens with super long lifetimes and a whole lot of strength. I mean, Loki held his own against Odin, the All-Father. So, yeah, he got his ass whooped, but the fact that he was able to stand up to him at all says something. So, yeah, he's not nothing. I think trans Loki has a deeper plan than she's letting on. Of course she does. We've seen a Hulk Loki. Yeah, exactly. I want to see that one in real out life. That'd be amazing. If you could see another Loki that they transform to, which one have you seen that you want to no more of?
No more. I want to see.
Want to see more of?
Yeah, the Hulk Loki. Because just so that I can see the actual Hulk versus that Loki Hulk.
Oh, Loki don't mad at her, so don't threaten no way. Yeah, exactly. But still, like, she is still a little just too. They're just killing too many people. Absolutely. They don't care about life at all. It doesn't seem. But when Ravonna moves to erase them both, Loki transports them through a portal. And was it a hint to something coming? No pun intended. That they landed in what seemed to be a bed.
You're reaching.
I'm reaching on that one. Well, of course, the scuffle ensues, and Sylvie seems to get the upper hand. But when she tried to zap out, she saw that the battery was low. So, I don't know. There's so many questions going on here.
But
Like,
is the battery low, though? Or
that's
did
what
Loki just switch it and made it seem like it's low?
you see what I'm saying? Like, first of all, do we believe that Loki didn't know exactly where he was sending them? Like, is she really filling him in on this? We don't believe Loki knew what he was doing with that.
All this, I believe, is planned so he can get to know, Sylvie, so he can try to recruit her or just simply find out what's her deal. That's how I felt throughout this entire episode.
Exactly. That's what I had. Like, is any of this real or is it all just an illusion? Like, this could all just be Loki messing with Sylvie's mind, or like it's really as it seems, and Loki's just flying by the seat of his pants. Like, you never know with this cat. Looks like you called it right, though, last week. Sylvie really did just change her name for herself to show that she's different and to be, like, independent. So, although she did refer to it as an alias, there might still be a little something like that. But it looks like you called a few things right last week. So, once again, we give it up and give it words due. Absolutely called it. Like, she just changed it just to be independent on that one. So, I was loving the back and forth between the two Lokis, like trying to pick each other's brains. Like, they both claim things are not much, but they didn't give too much, but they didn't really confirm anything. But they gave little tidbits inside here and there, and I don't know. It was just like games inside of games being played. Like, it was 3D chess. I was loving that shit. Loki went so Loki in that, like, we're just weary travelers scene. Like, first he disses Sylvie on being barbaric, like when she goes from just walks in there and tries to kick her way in and gets blasted. But then he goes from like talking as Loki to instantly turning into that woman's husband. Like, she's gonna fall for that. And of course he gets blasted himself. Like, just like Loki to talk shit on somebody else and then get blasted for the same thing.
Hey, it was a gamble though, and it's like, okay, it's 50 chance they actually had like a good relationship or not. Let me see. Especially it's like the end of the world, so it's like, who knows? She could just be hallucinating, maybe give us the right information, but nope, that didn't work.
Oh man, that was crazy. AK said pun intended. You already know it was. Oh, it's not a reach the way interact minds. We have Deadpool and Lady Deadpool met and they kissed just to see what it would be like. They did not like it. I think he switched it, and I don't think it's broken. I think this whole thing's an illusion myself. I think when Sylvie tried to break into Loki's brain, Loki backhacked her, and that's why we're getting everything in that episode. An alias, different sex, a foot and a half shorter, and that part was hilarious. Absolutely. But I mean, we already know, like, Loki's acting like he's kind of new to this, and he might not actually know how to get into somebody's brain, but we already know he knows how to hack into somebody's brain and like re-show them memories of what they've had. Like we saw in Thor Ragnarok when he put it on a girl's head and reminded her when all of them were when all the Valkyries were battling Hela. So I mean, we already saw that. Like when Valkyrie was ready to whip his ass, he put his hand on her head and went back into her mind. He's like, "I'll bet you have some amazing memories," and it jumped back into that battle. So we already know Loki kind of has a feel of how to do this. He may just not know how to implant himself into that memory, and that's
Yeah.
what he's trying to get out of it. Like, you think that's what it is?
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it is. Like he doesn't know like what could he do with those memories, just like manipulate people to tell him like what to do or how to control them. So just a matter of time before he does it on her, or she could possibly do it on him. Because he keep on saying my mind is too strong. But within that train conversation, when he talked about his mom's, I could see a situation where she's just gonna try to just go within his memories of like his mother teaching him how to do magic and possibly try to manipulate Loki.
Absolutely. Sylvie just gave him the new software to upgrade his game. Absolutely, AK. That's what I'm talking about. I think that might be exactly what happened. Absolutely trying to upgrade, take it to that next level. Level up. But yeah, that was such a Loki situation. If they would have just asked nicely in the first place, that lady would have told him what they wanted to know. Like, he's just getting into so much more than he needed to, being extra. Like, if he'd have just said, "Hey, lady, where is everybody?" "Oh, they're at the train down there." Boom. On his way, and nobody gets shot. So that was pretty tight.
My question is, was she like always just sitting there with her gun, just waiting for anyone to pull up?
Oh, no,
Like
I'm
it
sure
was
she heard him coming,
okay.
probably. Yeah, she either has like cameras or heard them coming because they weren't exactly being quiet, talking the whole way up. So she's like, "Okay, let me just guard this door." And if Loki could look in and see that picture, how can he not look in and see this woman with a hand cannon like in her arm? I was like,
He probably did, but then Sylvie was so gun hill and just going through, busting in.
oh, he thought he could talk his way through. That was awesome. But Loki's a master illusionist. Like, why not just create tickets when they need, like when they ask for tickets? Why not just illusion the tickets and get on the train? Why go through all that mess?
I guess he didn't know like what the tickets look like. That's my guess.
I guess. I mean, those people showed tickets right in front of him. He could have seen them. Yeah, I don't know. That was crazy. But I love Loki's like over the top bad acting as a guard. Like, the whole scene seemed a little ridiculous to me, but whatever. They made it on the train. But the bad acting was pretty great when he was being that guard. Sylvie's just full of contradictions. Like, first she says she can't sit with her back to the door, but there's doors on both sides of the cart. And then she says she can't sleep in a place like this. And then she's out cold in the next couple scenes. Like, is she just as big a liar or even bigger liar than Loki, or how's that play out?
Yeah, she's lying. It's like almost everything that's been said in this episode. It's like I take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, exactly. Because mischief everywhere. Chaos is afoot. And again, I was loving the back and forth of the two Lokis, like getting to know each other. But was that a bit of a spoiler for you? No, I knew I was adopted. Just both of them trying to get their little jabs in. And then they talk about love, and Sylvie's like, she's managed to stay close with a postman as she's run from one apocalypse to another. Who is this so-called postman that she's talking about?
It's like that song, "Hey, hey, Mr. Postman." You don't remember that song?
I remember that song, and like Fury sang what? Fury sang it in the Marvel, in Miss Marvel.
Yep. Other than that, I have no idea. It could be possible. Honestly, from the bow scene to that conversation about past lovers to I think there was another point. Oh yeah, to like Loki saying like what love is. It's like I won't be surprised if Sylvie is doing all this for love. Like her loved one died and she's just blaming the timekeepers for it because they deemed it so. Like part of their plan is have like her loved one die and she hated that, so she's been trying this whole plan, which she even said in this episode, like she's been doing this plan for like years. And I'm like, we mean by years? Like how long have you been trying to conjure up all this so you can get your revenge on the timekeepers?
Yeah, when you say years, are we talking 20 years, 5 years, 100 years? Like when you
And
say
this show
years,
is time travel, so it's like again, like how long? Well, this
exactly.
could have been the start of the TVA.
I mean, one of the biggest postmen in this series in the Marvel universe has been Stan Lee. So is this like a whole big meta mind trip? Like Stan Lee actually passed away in real life, so now she's mad at the timekeepers because that was her lover, and they think they're the reason that he passed away. So now she wants vengeance on him. Or did I call it last week and this is all just true love and she's trying to get back at Ravonna because those two have been in a love tryst and she just wants to go back and get back at her.
I thought so, but the way how she just looked at Ravonna, I was like, okay, I thought like Ravonna is probably like yeah, past lovers or something, or maybe she was like the other, what was it, the analyst or something? But nope, she just looked at Ravonna like I'm not Ravonna like nothing.
Yep. AK says also that lady said that they are devils. What you mean by that? Because they're devils. They are devils through and through. Did she have some pre-knowledge that they would show up and she would need to have a big gun? No, she has a big gun because it's the end of the world there and people are breaking in going crazy and she ain't about to get got. She's about to go down when the asteroid hits and not a second sooner.
Nah, there's something wrong with that big gun though.
What's
Because
that?
like, there's something up with that big gun. You could have like any size gun, but that gun alone, like granted, it's like another planet, but it's like why that big of a gun you have?
Oh, because she said you come in this house, you're gonna feel the pain. Like don't come in here trying to rob. I ain't the one. Like this is my house. I'm gonna go out on my terms. Don't think you coming in here wrecking shit. Hell no. She's owning it. I loved it. Oh, they could have just teleported onto the damn train. Yeah, I mean, there's so many things. He wasn't trying to get off that planet. That's why I think this was all just a Loki illusion. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure. We're going to talk about it. Oh, the Loki hack. Sylvia looked very surprised that she had fallen asleep. So did Loki put her to sleep, lull her to sleep? Did she just tired and passed out? What was up with that?
I never got that. She's like, oh, I'm not gonna go take like a nap because I'm surrounded by people she doesn't trust. Next scene, boom, she's taking a nap. I'm like, wait a minute. I thought you say you're not gonna take a nap around people you don't trust.
Exactly. Yeah, that just didn't make sense. Or maybe now she trusts him. That was a little clue to that.
But that's just one individual. Still, you don't trust everyone in that room.
That's true. That's true. And is Loki that much of an idiot? I mean, come on. Postman from WandaVision's your first guess? I like that. I mean, that's about the three postmen we got, the three we just talked about. Absolutely. Mobius thinks so. I also think Loki and Fendril were probably a thing back in the day. Ship it! Take it back to that. She was in the middle of nowhere, though, so yeah. So absolutely, I mean, yeah, they were going back and forth, and basically, I'm thinking more and more that this is. I mean, either way, whether Loki's flying by the seat of his pants, just trying to get to know this other Loki better, or if this is all just his illusion, I think he knows exactly what's up. But what about another person like hooking up with her? Do you think if there's any way it could be like the Silver Surfer? Or maybe a doctor. Like she did mention people being quite willing whenever facing a certain doom.
The Fantastic Four finally become. Did I even say that correctly? Well, the Fantastic Four are coming to the MCU, so possibly they could tie that in, but who knows?
Feel it. She's all hooked up with Doctor Doom. That'd be pretty tight. But as they were talking, Loki said nothing ever stuck because nothing ever got but, and then got cut off before finishing by Sylvia saying felt real, and Loki winced and said, So is there a love of Loki's life that's gone unnoticed that we didn't know about?
Could be. They could dive this in to like later in the MCU. Because I know there's Thor Love and Thunder, is it? So it's like it could be for both Loki and Thor, but I don't know. I'll be surprised if we get like more. No. Because I think they've announced that Loki's not going to be in Love and Thunder. So who knows?
You may have just called it right there. Thor and Love. Wait, what? I mean, did you just did you go meta on that? Has Loki always been in love with his brother?
I mean, it could be with Sylvie because we even know like they even touched like, oh, what was your relationship with Thor? Like nothing like that. So that could be one thing. With this Loki variant, like she was actually in love with Thor. Thor died, and maybe she blamed the timekeepers. Who knows? That'll be something.
Yeah, Fendril, the pretty boy in Thor's crew. That's what I was thinking, AK. I was like, I could definitely see those two of having a thing back in the day.
Oh, so that's that person. Didn't Thor's crew like all die in Ragnarok? Well, except for the woman.
Lady Sif.
Yeah, she's still alive last time I checked.
Yeah, Lady Sif is still rolling, I believe. So yeah, I was the first thing I thought of too when they said that. I was like, oh, him and Fendril have been messing around back in the day, but yeah, I think there's even more to it. His mommy, the MCU, is Freudian. It's like, it's not my real mom. I love you for teaching me all these tricks, and it goes even darker or deeper than that. What? But Loki gets drunk and forgets himself, so he's found out, and it looks like he was on my wavelength because he finally goes to create the fake illusion like of the tickets, but he's too drunk and misfires, and of course a kerfuffle ensues, and we see Sylvie use her horn tiara as a weapon. And is that how that one horn got cracked? Because she always uses it as a weapon.
Yep. Didn't
That's,
like Loki use his helmet as a weapon at one point?
yeah, and Thor Ragnarok, he was using it, knocking people back and forth.
There we go.
So yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I was like, they might have answered another one right there, just kind of letting us know, like, oh, that's how it's cracked because she uses it. Absolutely. How great was that awful dagger throw though? Like he was like gonna save her. I'm like, come on. Like he didn't even put it on the right side of her head. Like he was closer to hitting her between the eyes than that guard.
Mm-hmm.
And again, Loki is a god. Like, how are these seemingly simple humans able to overpower him? Like, these aren't even TVA agents. These are just regular security guys. And all of a sudden, they're able to pick up a god and throw him from the train.
Oh, you keep calling this man a god.
I mean, hey,
He's a puny
I'm
god, damn it.
puny god, but a god nonetheless. And these guys should not be able to just overwhelm him like that.
Well, he could again just playing an act. Like, is he drunk? Is he not drunk?
Yeah. Oh,
But
he's not.
he was still putting up a good fight though.
I don't know. I'm not sure if that was more of like Loki's bad acting or if he was just really that drunk. Like, it seems as if Loki wanted things to happen just as if they did. Like, I don't think that temp pad was broken or low on juice. Like, I think this is all just a Loki illusion.
Aha, you're right, AK. Because when we did that, it reminded me of the first Hulk, let's say Hulk, Thor movie where like he smashed. I think he was drinking coffee or something, and then he said another. That's what I ended it though when he said another.
Yeah. He wasn't drunk. I bet what he did was a relative memory from Asgard, but now it's him who's the center of attention and not Thor. That's why he busted that glass and said another. That's just that Asgardian move. That's what they do when they're having fun and like it. That's how they get down. But it was telling when Loki says, I'm hedonistic, and even that had to be a contest. Like when Sylvie replied, so am I, a lot more than you, I assure you. Like it sounds like Sylvie's claiming to be the ultimate freak.
She's a super freak.
I'm telling you, talking about, oh, I'm much more hedonistic than you. Like, shit, say it then. What are we talking about here? But she says, not at the cost of the mission. So she's about her business. You got to love the Sylvie. But Loki asks, what now? And Sylvie says, well, since you broke the temp pad, and Loki starts to say, well, but Sylvie cuts him off and keeps talking. And I'm telling you, that temp pad's not broke.
Nope, not at all.
So one last chance of escape, they decide to hijack the Ark, and on the way, Loki makes like conversation, like tricking Sylvie into giving up the secret of enchantment. And like I was saying earlier, does Loki secretly like already know how to do this? And we'll find out like they've been in one of his enchantments all along, or is he really just learning this type to use in a later episode?
Both. So he can use it and possibly also maybe she can even use it on him. Maybe like halfway try to control him, but may fail. But I can see like Loki end up using it on someone else and be like, oh, so this is how you're actually able to do it.
And while talking, Sylvie lets out that Hunter B20 was a variant just like them. And she says they're all variants. And of course, again, BBM called a big one last week and nailed it. So job well done, sir. But finally, it's Sylvie who asks, do we trust each other? And Loki replies, yes, and you can. Is he lying? Like, they're still going to try to screw each other. Again, no pun intended, just as soon as they can, right?
Of course. It's just who's going to do it first and be successful.
So they try to make their way to the Ark and through a panic city and chaos, and they kept running into guards who are still trying to stop them. Like, why? What are these guards still fighting for at this point?
Making sure they don't get on the Ark, I guess. Because it seems like when I rewatched it, it seemed like they were just only getting like the rich on that Ark. And anyone who's like not rich in that class shouldn't get on. So if they attempted to get on, they're just trying to stop them.
Right, but they had already said it was like 5 minutes to countdown. So by now it's like 3 minutes to countdown. Are these guards just willing to die for the cause? Like, will die,
Apparently.
people off. Like, get the hell out of here. Like, wouldn't they have been like on their way to the ark? Like, okay, we kept as many off as we can. Let us on now. Like, I don't know. Like, what the hell are these guards even still fighting for? That made no sense to me.
In the words of the clones. Oh my gosh, I forgot. What's the Oh my gosh, I can't believe it's this second. I forgot.
Good soldiers follow
There
orders.
we go.
We got you. We got you. I think it's its plan. I think it's his plan to steal her plan. He just needs to know it. No, because she just wants to tear things up, and I think he wants to run it. I think he wants to be in charge of it all. He sees the true power of this place, and he's down to be the leader of it. If you live on a cosmic level, there is no way you're not going to be everything in the universe or bang everything in the universe. Absolutely, absolutely. Why wouldn't you? Oh man, you already know Sylvie gets partying on. She already said, "Freaky town." I think it's like what Wanda did to Agatha. Could be all just a big mind trip. He's learning on the fly and getting stronger. Could be, but we already know he knew a good portion of it and already how to do that.
If I was Loki, I would pretty much like see every Loki variant, see what ability they have that I don't have, try to learn and become like the ultimate variant.
Of course, absolutely. I mean, he already considers himself the premier. Like he's definitely the bigger one, the superior one. But
So who's truly the alpha and who's truly the omega?
well, we might find out if they ever get to the TVA. We might find out it's a Loki running it all, and maybe you'd have to say that's the ultimate alpha, right? I mean,
That would be interesting.
What's that?
That would be interesting. That we finally see the timekeepers, and it's just like Loki himself.
Yeah, they've already shown like all these different kind of Lokis, so maybe that's why the statues look so different and different kinds of alien because they're all different Lokis. Or maybe Loki just screwed them a long time ago and just pulled a Land the Clever on them and basically just swiped the time variant from them. Because that's what this Loki wants to do. He wants to go in there and take it from them. So maybe a more powerful, quicker Loki that's been around even longer or figured it out even earlier has already done that, and it is a Loki running it all right now.
And maybe Sylvie does know that, and that's why she's saying, "Don't call me Loki."
Yeah, because she hates him. She's like, Loki's the reason that all this is so messed up and killing so many people. So don't call me that. I hate Loki. And we already had Ravonna talking about to Mobius about you can't trust Loki, and there's nothing trustworthy about this variant, and he's just bad and evil in every way. So maybe she really does talk to the TVA, and it's not the timekeepers. She knows she's reporting to Loki, and there's nothing she can do about it. So she knows that, yeah, this guy's evil. Don't fall for anything he says. I could definitely see that. I could definitely see that. Also, did y'all notice that when they got on the train, it was daylight, and when Sylvie woke up, it was nighttime? They didn't have to travel that far to get to the Ark. Was it nighttime? I thought it was still daytime because that's something I would put together with when Sylvie was in Agent B20's mind. When she was first talking to him, it was daytime. And then when she started to figure out what's going on to take her deeper, next thing you know, she was in the same setting, but it was nighttime. So if that's the same type of situation, that would kind of say that this is all an illusion by either Sylvie or Loki, one way or the other. But I don't remember it being dark. I thought
was it nighttime when they were having that conversation? When they
then, maybe. But then again,
not the train, when they exited the train and they were like walking to the city. Like, was it nighttime then?
I think I don't see. That's what I feel like. It was still daytime then, but I'm not sure. Or dust. But it's such a blue and purple planet. Who really knows?
True. At least I knew when it's actually nighttime. But like midway through, it's like, when is it day? When is it night?
The city, like it was totally dark then, but it was still like lighter when they were walking on the way there. So, yeah, interesting. It was daytime when they got thrown off the train. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it was still daytime. Like I said, if it was nighttime, that's something I would have instantly computed with that first Sylvie. My mind's always looking for shit like that. But Sylvie yells, "Watch out," and Loki says, "I've got it." And as the entire building is about to collapse on him, like we were talking about earlier, Loki sends it right back up into place. So what kind of magic was that? Is this all just an illusion? Is that a power he's already had? Or is he really rocking the time stone in his pocket?
I think it's his own ability.
That's just a power he's had and we haven't seen yet?
Because like if he was able to push that one soldier with his magic ability, then maybe he could just push debris.
He just amplified it, amped it up. And that's pretty crazy. The Switch goes. I'll check the new. Make sure minute when they showed it. Yeah. Just as the Loki's close in on the arc, it gets blown to bits right in front of them. And is this truly the end of it for these two variants? Like, will they die and we'll see two more new versions come up, or are these two going to get out of it?
They're gonna get out of it. If anything, like we said, they're gonna reveal like, oh, it wasn't really broken. It works. The thing is probably not low. It's like actually have enough juice, or maybe they can actually just go to the arc and somehow like get some juice and power to power it up.
Well, it's already blown to bits. How would they do that?
Or why doesn't the T? If anything, Morbius can actually like possibly find them. Like maybe he can like somehow just like get the device, get one of their devices, and try to pinpoint like where specifically that one went last. Like there's
Exactly.
so many ways.
That's what I'm putting my money on. I think they're going to get saved by the TVA, and it wouldn't make sense though. It's like they're tracking this Loki and Sylvie to kill, so why would the TVA save them? But
Number one, they gotta like freaking erase her for her crimes, reset her for her crime. That's one thing. They gotta make
well,
sure.
that's what I'm saying. If they could just leave her on this planet and she would die, the moon that's crashing into the planet would erase her.
But
And you
that
wouldn't
will
even
go
have to worry about
against everything though. Like they need to take the variant and put them on trial.
it. Oh, it's got to be. They got to give them their fair trial.
Mm-hmm.
That could be it. The Switch goes. I'll check the new Rockstar's with and mark the minute time when they show. Oh, I see what you're saying with that. Okay. Yep, I'm with Jake. I think it's all. I think it's all an illusion, one way or another. I think it's a Loki illusion myself. So, yeah, I don't know. Basically, I mean, we see in the new trailer. If anybody's seen the trailer, it looks like they're caught by the TVA. So it looks like the TVA is going to swoop in and save them. But I don't know. I think somehow we got to figure out. Loki's going to basically reveal that this was all an illusion and they're not even really here. And maybe the timekeepers catch them where they're really at. But maybe they die and Mobius goes back and stops them before they jump to Lamentis in the first place, saying if you do it, you'll die. Maybe that's how they stop them. But my thing is, in the new trailer, they both look soaked. Why? Loki and Sylvia are both soaked, like they've been going through water or swimming or something weird. So why are they both so wet when they're caught by the TVA?
Time will tell.
He said, "Time will tell." I'm not sure about that one. So yeah, if you've seen the new episode, it looks like they do get caught. We're not sure how that happens. I'm going to go ahead and guess that Mobius comes in and saves them somehow. But I do want to know, like, why are they so wet? They're both soaking wet, and I want to know why. It's like, what's happening? What's going on with that? It just makes no sense. But do you think in the next episode they make their way to the timekeepers, or find the timekeepers, or see what's really going on, like at the end of that elevator? And do you think they're going to be able to talk Mobius into the fact that he is a variant himself?
Episode 5. You gotta wait to episode 5. Like it's too soon. If they give us episode 4, I'm like, wow, you're actually gonna give us this episode 4? But no, it has to be episode 5. If anything, when the moment they see Mobius, he's gonna like pick that question like, oh, so you're actually variants. He's gonna be like, wait, what? But that also now goes back to the previous episode. Now when we see that second ring from the glass, and he's like, oh, who's this other analyst? It's probably freaking Mobius there, his other previous variant self. Maybe this is what I thought. Like maybe since he's like the top analyst, he figured out that everyone is variants or something, and maybe you want to go confide with Ravonna, and since she's more like a Girl Scout, always like listening to timekeepers, like she literally just like reset him.
That could be. There's definitely. I mean, it definitely seems like things have been reset. Like that's something that definitely. I mean, that one way or another, that has to fit into it. People's getting their minds reset. I think you're absolutely honest with that.
And that's why the guy is on thing doesn't even know what a fish is, because he probably been reset too many times.
Yeah, but then how? I mean, if it's like that, how would he even be able to do his job? Like you don't know what a fish is, you don't know anything. Like how would he be able to do anything at that point? I don't know about that one. Jay Cruz says I don't watch trailers. I don't care for spoilers. I don't know. I figure if they're putting it out,
I'm the same way. No, don't say that. MCU has done it. Like even when it was like a Civil War, this is like the one trailer I hated in all of the MCU. Is when they put Spider-Man in that trailer. I'm like, no. Imagine we never got a dose of Spider-Man in any of the Civil War trailers, and we would have found out he was in there in the movie. That would have been epic.
That would have been pretty dope. Absolutely, absolutely. But I don't know. It's like I said, for film trailers, it's like usually you see a film's trailer before you go to see the film, like to see if it's something you want to see. So I just
Mm-mm.
don't really consider that spoilers. Like that's a spoiler they
And
want you to know.
did you see that latest? What's that new the Shanghai or whatever thing that's
Mm-hmm.
coming out?
Yeah,
There's
the
like a new
two.
trailer. Did you see the new trailer?
Uh huh. With the
No, there's two.
abomination.
Exactly. When I saw it, I'm like, why would they put that in there? Wouldn't you be amazed that the Abomination is back in the MCU? Like, come on now, come on. Like, why
Or
put
that
that
could be
in
the
there?
one thing that gets somebody that wasn't going to go see it to go see it.
It's the you're invested in this. I don't care. You're invested, regardless of if you say to yourself, or what after Endgame ends, I'm done. You're still back in the game. So regardless, regardless.
Oh, Shang-Chi. Yeah, can't wait
Thank
to
you, AJ.
definitely be
Okay.
talking about that one for sure.
I thought that was going to be a TV series, but no, it's a movie.
Will he be on his ski when they reset him? Yeah, it's like how did he even like what? I mean, we've heard that something as simple as being late for work. So is that where that came from? Like basically, Mobius was supposed to be at work, but he was having too much fun on his jet ski, so he was late to work. So he became a Nexus, so he had to be deleted. And then they just kept him. He became a variant, and they had to keep him. And
Maybe.
he became one of their best agents or whatever.
But
I mean,
now I'm thinking of that scene. It's like I forgot what year he said. Maybe that's the year he actually came from. That's my guess.
1990 for sure.
Yeah.
That's when he's talking about the CD being invented. So absolutely, he's from 1990, and he is. I don't know if he was a salesman or just a writer, beach bum writer, or some CD champion, but he had something to do with it. And yeah, he has a strong memory of it. So maybe they don't wipe his memory as clean because he has so much other knowledge they need for him to be one of the top agents to do what he does. But yeah, there's definitely something going on with that. Right out of the gate, when he first introduced himself to Loki, and Loki asked how long he'd been here, and he's like, I'm not quite sure. Time works differently here. Right then, you knew something was up. Something was afoot right then and there. The movies I like the most, I knew nothing about. That's
Doctor Strange, I never saw any of the trailers to Doctor Strange before the movie came out. I have still yet to watch any of the trailers to the Black Widow.
He's like, I'm not gonna get spoiled on anything. I'm just gonna hold it back.
Especially when it's like I wanted a Black Widow movie, but like not after Endgame. Like they should have had it way earlier. Because of that, my expectations and motivation, it's like low. I'm gonna see it, but it's still like low as hell. So I might as well just not see anything. So I don't know what to expect. Only thing I know is that it takes place like after like Civil War or Winter Soldier. It's one or the other.
Oh, really? What's up, JD? I see the dragon just hit the chat. Good to see you. Good to see you out there. Better late than never. Just wrapping this bad boy up. So, any crazy predictions for the next one? Anything you want to know or see for the next one? Any great calls like you had on the last one for this next one coming up?
Only thing I want to know is my call with Mobius. It's like it was other variants of him. He learned what was the deal, and it keep on like resetting him every single time. That's what I want.
It could be. So he keeps setting that glass down and not remembering doing it because they keep wiping his mind, but it's actually him doing it. And it's actually him giving her all these different snow globes and everything else like that. He's like, oh, I don't remember that one. Is it because he's like, you're not my only agent? That's true, but it still could be him giving her all these gifts and like trophies from all the different missions. And he's like, I don't remember that. He doesn't remember it because she's wiping his mind.
That and Sylvie's doing all of this. Her motivation is like a loved one that died, and she blames the timekeepers.
But she says she's managed to keep up on the loved one, so it almost seems
She's lying.
she's lying about that. Because yeah, Loki asked, "Is anybody waiting for you at the end of this venture?" And she said, "I have managed to keep up with the postman." So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that works out. Which one that is?
And she still could though. She can just get like another try to make. I don't know. Still think it's not Postman though.
Peter Griffin says next one's episode 4. We finally might see the big bad, or is it too soon? You think it's too soon?
The Big Bad? No, episode 5.
Episode
Then
5.
again, it's 6 episodes, so I don't know how they're gonna do it.
I think one way or the other, they break into the timekeepers thing and figure out there either are no timekeepers or like there's a Loki up there that's been running it all. The Or like I said, because it's definitely some Wizard of Oz situation, somebody behind the mask running it all. So I think it could be a Loki up there, or it could be, like I said, it just could be Ravonna doing it all because she's under somebody else's power that we don't know about, or she could just be doing it herself. Like it ran out and she's had this job, so she just keeps running it and doing it. Oh, JD says, I'm just enjoying this show. Loki has been fun to watch. You know it has been. I've been absolutely loving it. Absolutely loving it. The postman could be Morlock by the name of David. Interesting. Never heard of that one. Don't know who that one is. Got possible small X-Men intro. That's what I'm kind of thinking it could be, but I think it might be the other way, and it could be like a Doctor Doom situation going on. That'd be a pretty cool little intro. But I don't know if they're going to bring anything that big and do a sideshow like one of these Disney sides. I'm not sure, but I know I'm pumped to see it, and I'm super stoked. So, yeah, going to be awesome. I'm loving this series, and, man, we're halfway there. We're halfway there. Are they going to finish this up? Are they going to give us, like, an ending, or are they just going to leave it in chaos and let it flow right into the movies?
Leave it in chaos. There's going to be a multiverse of madness soon, so let it happen.
He said, let it happen, let it flow. That's going to be absolutely amazing. Probably the Shadow King.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started.
Oh, man. He's from 616 Multiverse. That's awesome. I have to check that out. Well, I want to thank everybody for being here with us. Absolutely had a blast. We'll be back on Tuesday talking about the Bad Batch, but that's going to do it for us. So thanks again, Fandom D Saint, and one more bow down for all the excellent calls last week that you got right this week. Hope to see it keep moving and see what happens next episode. So hope you guys are all having an absolutely fantastic weekend, and it only gets better from here. And until Tuesday, be easy, everybody.
They're not clones.